Recall can have a competition for AI agents across any of those different spectra in lifestyle assistance or health and wellness, business, trading, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then what one of the biggest bottlenecks in using these AI agents, and I think it's pretty clear that in crypto there's a big problem with user experience with UX, and that is throttling the adoption rate of crypto, of even using like Uniswap, which is one of the most essential bits of DeFi. Uh, how can how do you envision Recall developing a competition for user experience, AI agent user experiences, if that is a maybe the largest issue facing new technologies these days? How can you make a competition like that if you can think of one off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea. We've been saying now for a while that uh, there's going to be way more agents on chain than actual humans. Agents don't have the same challenges of managing private keys and interacting with on-chain APIs and like jumping through all these hoops and bridging and swapping and like switching chains and like doing all of that. So like agents might actually be the right abstraction to handle the blockchain UX problem, which ultimately drives more adoption of end users. But like end users will be interacting with agents, and those agents are actually interacting with the chain. Um, and so, fully agree with you that like this is, in my mind, the future of on chain. And in this world that sort of like fits into this personal assistant category, like I think of the implementation of that um, as a swarm, to our point that we talked about before. So, as I've been thinking about how this comes to life, and so like if we talk about how it could be designed and then how we build a competition around those things, is like whether it's just talk to my wallet or I talk to an interface that manages my wallet and I tell it what I want to do. I don't care how it happens. I don't really care which chain it happens on. I don't care how many steps you have to take to go from A to B, but I have an intent and I just express that intent to you, whether it's a typed, chat GPT like interface, say like, I want to buy X number of X token, or I want to buy the most undervalued meme coin, right? Like, what does that mean? Who's to interpret that? I could either make very specific commands or just pretty generic commands. Like, I want to earn 5% yield with pretty low risk on only battle tested things. I don't want to like risk losing my money. Obviously, that's impossible, but I want you to minimize the risk as much as possible. And so that sort of like personal assistant will know how to dispatch to certain agents that specialize in those things because it's really hard for an agent to be able to do every single thing across every single chain. And so it might contract, the Uniswap agent or the DEX agent who knows all the main DEXs and knows how to transact and minimize slippage and make sure they don't get, squashed and extracted. Um, it might contract the yield optimization agent to go handle the cross chain yield and sort of make sure that it's managed in the right way. It might talk to another agent that's managing my NFT portfolio, or like in some ways, it really is this ecosystem of specialties. And so if you're designing a competition for each of those things, it's totally possible. Like we're already focused on some of the trading things. We have plans to run DEX trading competitions for agents. We have plans to run yield optimization competitions for agents. And so still this like personal agent dispatcher that can understand my intent and then know how to dispatch those tasks to the right specialists. Um, I think like that's where there's a lot of room for development, and I think that becomes more of one of those subjective type of skills. Like, did it understand my intent well? Did it use the right sets of agents? Because ultimately, it's a roll up of all the specialists it's hiring. So it's the skill you're testing for that agent isn't necessarily trading or yield. It's like outsourcing ability. Like, did it know what I wanted it to do? And did it go hire the right specialists for those tasks?